The letter A makes 9 different sounds. And as I said, a lot of the vowels in English can make a big number of different sounds. But don't worry, we're going to go through very slowly, and you can keep rewinding as many times as you need until you're familiar with those sounds. And also over time, you will get to know those sounds better. So please don't worry if 9 different sounds to grasp feels like a lot, because in years to come, you'll get to know those sounds. So what are those 9 different sounds? I'm going to run through them and give you an example of each one. We have an A sound, which is very common. A, like in the word ant. Then we have an sound, like in the word asleep. Then we can also have an A sound, like in the word angel. And we often see this one when we have an A followed by a consonant followed by an E. So we'll see an example of that in a moment in the word paper. So we've got that A sound. Then we also have an R sound, like in the word plaster. So far we've got A, and R. Now you'll already be noticing that some of them are quite similar, some of the sounds we need to make. And of course we're going to have variations in pronunciation, and that's one of the brilliant things about English as a global language. I speak English in one way and you might speak it in another, and the only thing we need to worry about is whether or not other people are going to understand us. So not everyone makes the same sounds in the same words, so don't worry too much if your pronunciation is sounding different. That's okay. So we've had those 4 sounds. Now we also have an O sound, like in the word wand, like the wands they use in Harry Potter. Then we've got an air sound, quite an open sound, like in the word canary, canary. So that's got 2 A sounds, but the airy one is the one we're listing out for. Then we also have words like water with an O sound. So not dissimilar from the O sound in wand, water, wand. Then the last 2 are a little bit stranger. We have an idge sound, or an I sound on its own, like in the word baggage. Now that idge is what we call a suffix in English. It can go on the end of words, idge. So occasionally an A will be pronounced like that. And then finally we have an E sound, like in many, many, E. So that one is less common as well. So now let's look through some examples for each of those sounds. Now, as with S, I'll go through them first, and then I'd like you to go through them with me at the same time. So for our A sound, we have ant, apple, pram. We might push a baby in a pram. Then we have our A sound, angel, paper, and apron. So there's that example, paper, of where we have A, consonant, E. A, P, E, we get an A sound. Paper, or even ape, like a monkey. Then we have asleep, umbrella, and zebra. Asleep, umbrella, zebra, with an sound. Plaster, tomato, and banana. So a longer sound there. Plaster, tomato, banana. Then we have our O sound. Wand, swan, and wash. Wand, swan, wash. O. Then we have our longer sound. Water, ball, and wall. That's a longer O sound than in wand, for example. Then we have canary and parent. Again, a long sound. Parent, air. Then baggage, cabbage, and package. So those all have the ij suffix. The end of the word is ij. And finally, just the one example, many. So now I would like you to practice with me. Ant, apple, pram, angel, paper, apron, asleep, umbrella, zebra, plaster, tomato, banana, wand, swan, wash, water, ball, wall, canary, parent, baggage, cabbage, package, many. There we are. So those are the 9 different sounds the letter A can make. But remember that A sound is the most common. A lot of them you'll see a lot. A, and then apart from in the word many, you won't see that E sound too often. And baggage, ij, only in a few circumstances. So if you need to go over any of that again, please do. You can rewind, or we can get going with the last part of our lesson. Well done.